Hello everyone. In this lecture, I will discuss about the symmetry elements and the point group for a tetrahedral geometry. It is abbreviated as T4 and it is also considered as a special geometry because it comes under a molecule with special symmetry. Why it is so special? Since we have a multiple higher order rotational axis in this molecule. Also, this tetrahedra forms one of the platonic solids. There are 5 platonic solids and this is one of them. The 5 elements that make up the universe, they were correlated to these platonic solids, 5 solids, and this is correlated to fire. The other elements being earth, water, air and ether or space, they are correlated to the other 4 solids. In this tetrahedra, we are given 2 different illustrations, one with Ml4, the another as a polyhedral structure. The metal is surrounded by the 4 ligands and I have drawn 2 different orientations of it for a better view. Here I am showing it. Metal and 4 ligands. This is a second view. First view and a second view. Well, after this, I am just trying to show another model. This is another model where you can see the triangular faces. One triangular face towards your right hand side, one triangular face towards your left hand side, one triangular face which is away from you, and there is also a bottom triangular face. For a better understanding of all the symmetry elements, here I am showing you. These ones are called as corners or vertices and these are the edges. These are the faces. 4 triangular faces, 6 edges and 4 corners. Whatever symmetry elements that are present in this special symmetry molecule, we have to visualize them through these corners, edges and the faces. So let's come and understand this. Here I am showing one of the corners, second, third and fourth. To this corner opposite is a triangular face. Here you can see it very clearly. Right. If this is a corner, exactly opposite to that corner is a triangular face. And whenever we have a triangular face with an identical ligands or an atom, we can visualize a C3 in it. So just let me try to pass a C3. You have to imagine it is passing through this corner and coming out from the center of the opposite triangular face, through which if I rotate by 120, it is producing an equivalent configuration. So we have started with a red edge. Again, if it comes red, then it is an identical configuration. 120 degree, yellow. 120 degree, we got an orange. Third 120, we got red. So this will become an identical configuration. There is a C3 which is passing from one of the corners and its opposite triangular face. When you look at this geometry, there are 4 corners and for each corner there is one triangular face opposing to it. For this is the triangular face. For this corner, this is the triangular face. For this corner, this is the triangular face. And for this corner which is away from you, this is the triangular face which is towards you. From one pair of a corner and its opposite triangular face, if a C3 is possible, also another C3 will be possible from this pair of a corner and a triangular face. Third C3 will be possible from this particular corner and an opposite triangular face, and a fourth C3 from this corner and an opposite triangular face. So we say altogether there are 4 C3s, each C3 passing from one of the corners and its opposite triangular face. Let me show you all these C3 rotational axes. Now here I am showing it. If this is one C3, this is the second one, third one and a fourth one. C3s are completed. So for this reason we said it is a molecule with special symmetry where multiple higher order rotational axes are present. Most of the molecule only has one higher order rotational axis, but this has multiple. Apart from this C3, do we have any other rotational axis? We have to check. For our comfort, what we have done is we have considered the vertices or the corners, faces and edges. A rotational axis has taken vertex and its opposite face. We are left out with the edges. Look at the edges very carefully. Altogether there are 6 edges. There are 6 edges in this. Now if this is the red edge which is towards you, instead of holding it in this manner, now I am trying to hold it in this way. This is the orientation. For this edge, opposite is another edge which is perpendicular to it. For this edge which is in yellow, opposite is another yellow which is perpendicular to it. I am showing it to you. And for an orange, opposite is another orange which is perpendicular to it. There are 6 edges in 3 pairs, where each pair is like a staggered pair. To one edge, another edge is perpendicular. I choose one of these pairs, supposing that I am choosing a red pair. From here, I am trying to pass a C2. You can just check. This is a C2. And if I rotate by 180, this is giving an equivalent configuration. I rotate by another 180, that will produce identical configuration. You can have this view, and this is the C2. Rotate by 180, equivalent. I rotate by another 180, that will produce identical configuration. If one pair of the edges is taking one C2, there are 2 other pairs. This should also take a second C2. This is the second C2, and an orange one is also taking a third. And these are the C2s. Right. Now let's conclude. What are the rotational axes that are present? A tetrahedral molecule has 4 C3s. Each C3 is passing from one of the corners or the vertices and coming out from the center of the opposite triangular face. Apart from C3, it also has C2s, and each C2 is passing from one pair of edges. There are 6 edges falling in 3 different pairs, and each pair is taking up a C2. First, let us write down these symmetry elements present. Identity is always there. 4 C3s are present, and each C3 will generate C31 and C32. Since there are 4 C3s, this will generate 4 C31 and 4 C32. We have also seen 3 C2s. All the rotational axes are completed. Even if you try to watch any other rotational axis, we cannot find them. Let's look at for the planes. Now if I am holding the molecule in this manner, you can just watch yellow is facing towards you. If I am just trying to pass a plane exactly from here, you can see it is cutting the molecule into symmetric halves. One half is a mirror image of the other. So this is how the plane is. And this plane, it is just taking up one complete edge. It is taking up one complete edge. Altogether there are 6 edges in this, and through each edge a plane will pass. This is from a red one. Okay. If I consider the C2s, how the C2s are, I choose any 2 C2s that will form a dihedral angle, and this is a plane that will bisect the dihedral angle. So we call these planes as dihedral planes. Here I can show you. This was a C2 which is passing from the orange one. Through yellows another C2 was passing. So if I hold it in this way, this is one C2 and this is a second C2. So those 2 C2s, they are forming a dihedral angle, and this is a plane which is bisecting that dihedral angle. So we call this as a dihedral plane. And through each edge there is a dihedral plane. There are 6 edges, and therefore we say altogether there are 6 dihedral planes. One of the planes I am showing you. It is just taking up one complete edge. Since there are 6 edges, we have 6 dihedral planes. Does tetrahedra has any other symmetry element? We have to check. There is another special element that I will try to show. If this is considered to be the tetrahedral geometry, I am taking a different orientation, this one. Now this is that C2. Previously it was in a polyhedral model. Now I am showing it in a ball and stick model. So this is the C2 which I am showing. Take the reference of these two atoms which are vertical with respect to you. As I rotate by 180, this is giving an equivalent configuration. So this is one C2 that you can visualize. Okay. Next. From that same C2, or I can say collinear to this C2, we have an S4 axis. That S4 is a C4 followed by a plane perpendicular to this. I am just showing you the S4 again. It is a C4 which is not producing any equivalent configuration, but we need not bother because it is just half an operation. This C4 must be followed by a perpendicular plane. So if this is the C4 rotational axis, there must be a plane perpendicular to it. Now you can watch it. So let me take it, start from here. This is the rotational axis that is pointing towards you. Rotate by a 90-degree angle, then pass a plane perpendicular to it. The half which was away from you, now it will reflect towards you. This is producing an equivalent configuration. Hence we say there is an S4 axis in this. I am repeating it here. Take the reference of these two, rotate by 90 and pass a plane perpendicular to it. That will produce an equivalent configuration. Each of this S4 is collinear to C2. What it means is there are 3 C2s, therefore we should have 3 S4s. And each of this S4 will produce S41 and S43. There are 3, therefore these will also become 3 and 3. S42 need not be considered because it is reduced to a repetitive element which we have already taken. S42 is a C42 which is reduced into a C2. This is already present. Now count the total number of symmetry elements. That should be equivalent to 24. This is the order of the point group. So any molecule which has a tetrahedral geometry with 24 symmetry elements that belong to TD point group. Uppercase T, a lowercase d as a subscript. You can count the number of symmetry elements. 4 C31, 4 C32, 8 plus identity 9, 3 C2s 12, 6 sigma Ds 18 and 6 S4s, altogether 24 symmetry elements. One more point to conclude. For all these 5 Platonic solids, there are some conjugates. Conjugates like, suppose if I choose octahedra, it is a conjugate to a cube. I chose icosahedra, it is a conjugate to a dodecahedra. But a tetrahedra is a conjugate to itself. It is not conjugate to any other Platonic solid. These conjugate elements, I will take a different class for it. To conclude, tetrahedral geometry, or the molecules that has tetrahedral geometry with 24 symmetry elements, they belong to TD point group. Thank you.